Hey everybody, welcome to Small Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Michi, and these are my co-hosts.
Natsuki.
And Alex, hello.
And today, we're going to talk about Japan as a high-tech mecca, or is it?
Or
No.
is it?
Alex already answers the question.
No,
Why
it's
not?
not.
I have a question.
Okay.
So people around the world think Japan is a high-tech mecca?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like what? Which part?
Wait. First, let's go. Not
Okay.
what, why, which part. Let's go with the why first. Okay.
Okay,
I
okay.
think because in the 1980s, all of the televisions and VCRs and stereos, like the top brands, were all Sony.
Sony.
And then I think Panasonic was called National at that time or whatever. All of those
Yeah.
Japanese brands were like the highest high-end, and even in some cases today, they still are for some things,
Yeah.
brands. And so I think that's why, and
Well, stereos as well, like Walkman. you
Yeah.
know, automakers, Toyota,
Sony.
huge.
Yeah, and the innovation in the engines in Japanese cars far exceeded the pace of American cars. I mean, American cars just kind of like got bigger and stupider from like the 1980s, 70s, 80s, all the way to the 90s, right? So,
But that manufacturing kind of got perfected in the 80s and early 90s in Japan.
Yeah.
I remember that, like getting a Walkman, you know, the old Walkman where you put cassette tape in.
yeah, the cassette tape cut.
You used to press the eject button and it used to clack and kind of whir open in
Yeah.
a really smooth way.
Yeah, I
And
used
that
to
was-
have that one.
Yeah, that was so cool, you know.
Like, and not only that, but remember, I mean, it didn't really take off that much in America, but the Sony mini disc system,
MD.
Yeah.
MD,
MD, yeah.
like those, because they were lossless and you could fit all of your songs instead of a giant tape on a small little disc. And, you could make backups of things, and the technology was just really good.
Do you remember Laserdisc?
I do.
Like a pizza-sized CD.
That-
Pizza
it was
size
just like-
CD.
That literally, in the middle of the movie, it had to flip the disc.
yeah.
So there was two systems. It either ejected the disc and asked
Yeah.
you to get off your ass and go and flip it yourself.
Yeah.
Or the laser recording mechanism would like flip around and go to the bottom of the disc inside the
right,
box.
right.
But it would still stop the movie for like a good, I don't know, 2 minutes while
Yeah.
it flips.
No, I remember those systems, man. Yeah, but it's so cool and kind of exotic as well.
Yeah.
You know, these foreign brands and stuff. So yeah,
So I mean that's why we had that kind of like image that, all right, so for Japan, like everything is really, really high tech. Then you see all the video footage that you've ever seen of Japan is always from like the scrambles in Tokyo.
Okay.
yeah.
You got these high-rise towers with all these video screens on them and neon and everything, and so it just looks really, really like high tech.
Okay.
But then you get here and you live here.
Don't do it. Okay, go.
I don't know which one of us should take this first, Alex, me or you.
It's hard, isn't it? I mean, for me, the first thing was right. I moved into my apartment. I used to live in a place called Satsuki Mansion in Kabushima City, right?
My God.
Like, yeah, old school kind of building,
Yeah.
whatever. Got in there and like I walked in. I'm used to having modern conveniences in my house.
Yeah.
And I walked in, there was a top-loading washing machine, which only does cold water washes. There's no dryer.
Okay, wait. We have to stop. All right, for you guys at home. Hot water washing machines is just not a thing here.
Yeah.
They're almost always only cold water, and most of them are top loading, and they don't have the actuator in the middle.
Yeah.
So what can actually happen with these things, which is so stupid, is that your clothes might tangle up and get into a ball in the inside of the washing machine. So then when it goes to the spin cycle to dry off, it'll literally shake the washing
Bangs
machine
around,
out
yeah.
of its spot and like fall over in your apartment. It's like dangerous.
Yeah. So
High tech Japan.
Yeah. No, that's the first thing that I noticed that shocked me.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've been used to having like a washer dryer thing in England.
Yeah.
This is not a new thing, right? So what's going on?
Wait. So in England, it's a front loader?
So usually a front loader, and most people have a washing machine and a dryer.
Yeah,
separate,
next to each other, right?
next to each other. And I mean, back in the day, my mum never used to go for the washer dryer together because
Yeah.
the drum's very small.
And
So
they're
it kinda
kind
messes
of
your clothes
crap
up.
because you can only do one load every 2 hours or something.
Yeah. I mean, they're much better now,
Yeah.
but even then, I mean, it just seems so outdated. And then I go into the kitchen, I'm like, right, where's my dishwasher? Nothing. You know what I mean? It's all hand washed. So I was like,
Natsuki, your father had a dishwasher, but I was at a party at your house, and like here sits a dishwasher on the counter, and you guys are hand washing dishes next to it.
really?
Don't embarrass me in front of people, okay?
Yeah, but it's true. Like here's a probably very
because-
expensive dishwasher, and no
yeah.
one's using it.
I used it.
Okay.
But anyway, the reason why he didn't use it is first of all, he didn't know how to use it, and second of all, because there were so many people. He should use it. My point is he didn't want to use it for little dishes. Do you understand what I mean?
It's like
he want to use it when
there's a lot of dishes.
Right.
I think in the West, what we do is like we just keep putting the dishes in the dishwasher until it's kind of full, and then we just hit the button.
See, dishwasher, the advantage with it is that it's a place to hide your dirty dishes.
Right. Yeah.
Right,
You know,
right.
so you don't have to worry about them.
And with like the new dishwashers that we have for like the last 10, 15 years, you can just put anything in there. Oily pots, disgusting plates, everything. And it's got the jets inside that just like wash everything off.
Yeah.
And the water gets super hot, so it disinfects your dishes at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
But in Japan, like everybody just hand washes everything, and
Not
then just
everybody.
what percentage do you think people hand wash?
It's getting higher.
Like 90% of people hand wash. More.
80. I don't know.
I've never seen the only person that I know that has a dishwasher that uses it is my Swedish friend who lives here.
Right.
I don't know any Japanese people who have a dishwasher.
I have like my cousin has dishwasher and my friend has dishwasher. Like
So
recently, the housemaker they have like なんだっけ最初からある.
They're installing them.
Right.
Okay. So it's changing.
It's changing.
I mean, I sold my car to buy a dishwasher when I was starting my business up
You
and I didn't have any
what?
money. No, yeah, seriously.
How much was this dishwasher?
It was quite expensive. It was a very good one from a German company.
Okay, wait, but your house is a little bit different. You have like a chef's stove with a gas oven, which
Yeah.
no one has in Japan.
Yeah.
And then you guys have like just a giant island countertop where you can cook all sorts of. Your wife cooks all sorts of amazing things.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a difference. And your kitchen is the size of most people's apartments.
Yeah, it's quite big.
Yeah, I mean, you're a different situation.
I mean, that's because it's in Kagoshima, right? It's
Yeah.
cheaper to do that. But yeah, so dishwasher, important thing to have in the kitchen, which isn't here for some reason.
Yeah, I want one, but I don't have one. And then if you do get them, a lot of them are just like sat on the counter. And since your counter space in Japan is so small, it takes up
Yeah.
the whole counter, and it's just like you can't cook anymore.
It's strange. A lot of the kind of white goods kind of suck though as well, like toasters and stuff as well.
Yeah.
You know, like suihanja, the like rice cookers, are really kind of high tech.
They're the best in the world.
I mean, they're really good. They make some great rice.
Chinese tourists come here, and well, not now, but usually would come here, and you watch them get on the planes afterwards or the boats, and you look at what they're buying. Every one of them is buying at least 2 rice cookers.
Right. 象印.
Yeah,
It's
to take back to their friends. I mean, it's amazing.
Right.
So it's like some things are really good and some things totally suck. So I just don't know where this line is drawn, where it's like, let's try with this, but let's just not bother with, you know, a toaster or
Yeah.
those grills everyone has, the electric grill. I can't stand those things, man.
Why not?
What do you mean? Like the ones for yakiniku and stuff?
So you've got like a little grill that you plug in, and you can put toast in it and things like that.
Oh, you mean a toaster oven?
Yeah, toaster oven type thing.
Uh,
I just don't understand those because in Britain we've got a grill in the oven that cooks it for you. And if you
very-
want to make toast, use a toaster, right?
It's like the same as toaster. It's very quick. We can, have toast like only like 3 minutes.
When I do it though, it always burns one side. I don't know why. Maybe mine's broken. I don't know.
And we can also grill mochi in there.
Yeah,
And
that's
toaster,
true. That's
we
probably
cannot
right.
put mochi in there.
So you know that in the gas konro, the Japanese gas stove, sometimes they have like the little drawer you pull out. You're supposed to put fish in it.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
I
right.
use that for toast
I use that
right.
toast too.
because it's super fast.
Okay.
It's
Well, that
not.
makes
It's not what
sense.
it's for, but that's what I use.
But
it
I
for.
also grill fish too, so sometimes my toast smell like fish. That's
Yeah.
horrible.
It does stink though after you put like fish in the grill or
Yeah,
whatever.
the whole house. I mean, that's just a thing that you have. Okay, so my ex, like I went to her house and she was like cooking fish, and I came into her house and she's like, "I'm sorry, my house smells like fish," and I didn't even think about it. I just said, "That's okay. A lot of Asian houses smell like this." It's just, I wasn't trying to
Oh
be.
my
I
God.
wasn't trying to be racist because my house in America smells like that, right? It's
okay.
just it smells like the food that you cook, right? I have an Asian mom, okay? Like that just smells like that. And so I wanted to reassure her that it was okay, but she got angry at me. She's like, "What are you saying, racist?" I'm like, "Oh no, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. I'm so sorry."
What are you saying, racist?
Unbelievable.
Because it's like the fish or like the soy sauce smell. I like it, but like she was like apologizing for it. I was like, "You don't have to apologize for this. Not to me, anyway."
How about computers at home? I notice a lot of people don't seem to have a computer.
No one has one.
Which is weird.
They don't have a place to put it.
Maybe.
That's
yeah.
why. And so if they do get a computer, they get notebook pasokon, like the laptop type.
You guys are giving wrong impression to the world, okay?
Okay.
That's not true. That's not true. Not everyone.
To be honest, though, but the IT level, like I've seen people using computers at work and stuff like that. I mean, it's really low. I mean, it's like
no, I cannot
seriously,
deny. I cannot deny. But
I don't know why people don't do it at school. Maybe.
Well, no, like I think you and I grew up with computers in the home. Like everybody from my generation, anyways, had a computer in their home. They're gaming and stuff like that. In Japan, they just honestly they don't have the place to set up like a workstation in the house. And so a lot of the kids, what they do is nowadays they just give them the iPad.
Yeah.
Well, an iPad is an output-only device, and so the kids aren't learning how to do anything on a computer or make anything.
Yeah.
So it's a disadvantage, and that's why I'm sorry to have to say this, but software in Japan, every Japanese company that ever tries to make software does a shit job of it.
Yeah.
It's the worst in the world. Like compared to their hardware, the software, like if they had crap hardware and crap software, like a lot of Chinese companies do, okay, I get it. It makes sense. You know, you kind of low level, right? But if they're like making this level of hardware, but this level of software, it's like, why?
Yeah, I mean, the software does suck.
It's
I mean, it's
so
really,
bad.
really bad. And like the hardware is great, as you said. You know what I mean? There's all these small companies that make the parts.
Yeah.
And they do, their best at making that one part.
Yeah.
So their quality is really high. They all get put together by bigger companies, you know what I mean? And the design's really nice as well, usually. But when it comes to the creative side and the problem-solving side,
It's that it is. It's like it's having the ability to look at a problem and create a creative solution for it. They're not great at.
yeah, so it falls apart.
Maybe there are people that can do that, but the people on the top just like say no. So
Yeah.
like if you, for example, like just look at pizza. You could order pizza online in America 20 years ago, from 20 years ago. Okay. In fact, in one of my favorite MMORPGs, there was a /pizza command that if you just typed /pizza in the video game, this is 20 years ago, guys, that it would order a pizza to your house.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
cool.
In Japan, we just recently got Domino's, like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 years ago. And like, it's literally the Silicon Valley produced like web portal from America just pushed onto the Japanese website. So a lot of the information and graphics are in English.
Yeah, right.
And,
Yeah.
Domino's has the best online ordering experience in Japan because it's just basically the American version ported to Japan.
Yeah.
And it sucks because, if you look at the 80s and the 70s and the 80s, all the great video game classics came from Japan.
Yeah, that's true.
We had coders here. What happened?
Yeah, I mean, they're still there. I mean, they still make a lot of good video games and stuff now. But I think the problem is, that when it comes into a business setting, everything's got to go through decision by a board or something like that, or a group.
Designed by committee.
Designed by committee. So that's where it all falls apart, because you can't have one crazy person trying something out. It all just drops apart like that. I mean, Google do something where they do projects where somebody starts doing something, and if other people are interested, they just join in, right?
15% time, right?
Yeah.
So they have their main job, and then 15% of their time needs to be spent on doing some different. I mean, this is changing now, but yeah, Gmail was birthed from that. All these things, these new Google products were birthed from that.
Right.
So it's like they don't have the freedom to do that. You're not going to create anything new.
Yeah, I try to think about the things that I'm using now.
Yeah.
It's like Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, I didn't really think about it, but everything is not made in Japan. That's true.
So
I mean, like if you look at Amazon and Rakten's a Japanese product. Amazon's the Silicon Valley product. I'm sorry, Rakuten sucks.
yeah,
Why
It's a
sucks?
mess.
Why?
Like
Why?
it's like the wild west of the 1990s internet with all these graphics and links and everything. It's so busy, and like they have products that are listed there that are sold out. So you go to it and you're like, oh, I'm going to buy this. And it just says sold out. You're like, why did I scroll for 15 minutes down all of this explanation of this product to get to the part that says sold out? The design of Rakuten is garbage.
yeah.
It's absolute garbage. And that's why you look at Amazon compared to it on the side. It's so clean.
Oh, I see.
It's so easy to use Amazon.
Yeah.
Maybe Rakuten is for only Japan, right?
But they're trying to become more global, but it's not working because...
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rakuten is maybe good for Japanese people because we can, get used to those like clouded advertisements. Do you understand what I mean?
But more and more people are jumping to Amazon.
Right, that's true.
And
they have good deal with point. Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, well, you get points at Amazon too. But the thing about Amazon is that you order something, it's there the next day or the next day, like 1 or 2 days shipping. Rakuten is everybody's a market seller. So there's no like fulfilled by Rakuten. So they don't have warehouses, their own fulfillment centers or anything like that. They're just a middleman like eBay.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so that's why the quality over here is crap compared to Amazon. Amazon also has those third-party sellers, but they also have Amazon warehouses that ship things to you really, really quickly. And the customer service at Amazon can't be beat. I mean, like I told you this before. They shipped me 2 coffee makers on accident, and I called them up. I was like, "Hey, you guys shipped me 2 coffee makers," and they're like, "Keep it. We don't care." They're like, "Sorry for the
Lucky.
mistake."
Yeah.
You know, it's their customer service is top notch.
Yeah.
Right,
But
right.
I mean, how about like banking, for example?
Oh God.
You know, this is the main thing. So ATM, like in Britain, 24-hour ATM's totally obvious. Everybody would expect that.
Why does an ATM close?
That's what I don't understand
Guys,
either.
the ATMs they not everywhere, but a lot of them close at like 10 o'clock, or sometimes if you're in the countryside, they close at 7.
Yeah.
Or when I was there, 5.
5?
I got off work at 5 p.m. and the ATM was closing at 5 p.m.
Is there a dude inside it? Like
That's what they're.
It's a countryside of Japan
But they're, you know, why do they close though? What's the point?
Yeah.
because people have to go home.
Is there a little man
I
inside?
know, I
Is
know.
he like counting out?
Yeah.
And the other thing is the cash society here is so crap, man. Like you have to use cash everywhere.
Man, it's changing though. So,
little bit.
You know, things like Suica is quite common now. ID, you know,
Yeah.
the payment systems.
Quick pay,
Quick
pay,
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 Line Pay as well.
line pay. Actually, it's too much now.
That's true. There are too many.
They
yeah.
went from having nothing to having like chaos.
Right, right.
Yeah. I mean, there's even Pay Don if you want to use the local banks. for a
Kagoshima
while.
Ginko.
I'm
Right,
not going
right.
to say anything
Oh,
Let's
okay.
just be quiet
about the banks that funds my business, but yeah.
What about countryside of UK? So, like even countryside of UK ATM
So
is
the
for
thing
24
is,
hours?
in England, we don't have local banks like you do. All
Yeah.
the banks are national.
Oh, I see.
So why would you have a local bank? It doesn't make any sense.
Oh,
you know?
I see. I
There,
see.
there are some benefits to a local bank, but I think that having the big backing of a national bank outweighs the. Maybe I'm wrong about this. There were some financial crises that happened in my country, so I can't really say
Yeah,
anything.
yeah, true.
But you know, for the consumer's side of things, you know, having a national bank where the ATMs, no matter where you go, are there for free to use.
Well, I mean, in Britain, I came to Japan, 2005?
Yeah.
So I had my first job in 2000 odd when I graduated from university. And I was using internet banking from about 1997, I think.
Yeah. So I was using it from when I was a sophomore in high school. So it's about 1997 ish. Yeah, so
So-
I've been using my debit card at convenience stores to pay for everything. And here's a concept that'll blow you guys' mind. You go to a supermarket, you go to a convenience store, you pay with your debit, and then you press a button to get $100 cash back. So they give you cash back. So you don't even have to go to an ATM.
Yeah, we used to do that as well.
Isn't that
Cashback.
great?
Yeah, it's really useful. Yeah. I mean, even now we don't do it. I mean, when I went back to England, like on a business trip in 2018, 2019, I can't remember when it was exactly. I was in the pub and I had cash with me because I'd brought a bit of cash. So I was like, I'll buy a beer with cash. And the guy goes, oh my God, he's brought cash. He's complaining to the people around him. And all the
Yeah.
people stood around me going like, oh God, not
Because
somebody
in
else
Europe,
with money.
I think in Europe you guys started at first the tap to pay.
Yeah, tap to pay, yeah.
With the chip in it. Oh
Yeah.
man, that's amazing. I mean,
Yeah.
now we have just like, you know, the cell phone stuff,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
back then it's just tap done.
Yeah. So Japan's getting there though. It's starting to move with the kind of cashless transition,
Right,
but
right.
it's still a long way off.
And
you know.
also, we are living in the countryside
No,
of
no, you go to
Japan.
Tokyo, it's the same shit. I mean, I'm sorry.
But Tokyo, people who work in Tokyo and they got to move to Kagoshima, and then they're surprised they cannot get cash after like 7 p.m.
Well, no,
9
because
p.m.
like if you switch to a national bank and use like the 7-Eleven ATMs, they're open 24 hours a day, so you can do it in the whole country. I'm just saying that the idea of the local bank, first of all, and then the idea that an ATM closes is just a foreign concept to I think most people around the world.
Well, this is kind of like one of the negative sides of business in Japan is that a lot of it is done for their own interests,
Yeah.
right? So it's not putting the customer first. So they say, "Okyaksama wa kami-sama," so the customer is God or whatever.
Yeah.
But actually, if you dig into it a little bit, a lot of it is for the convenience of the company that's doing it for you.
Well, if the ATM closes every night, then they can do like the calculations on the back end and everything and shore up their books. They're probably, and this is the next thing I want to talk about, doing it by paper.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you walk into any business in Japan and you'll be surprised at how much paper they're using. And you're like, why? Like the very first thing that you do whenever you get involved in any business interaction in Japan, not all businesses, but a lot of them, is they'll just say, fill out this form on paper.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell do you get paid for? You fill it out here. You do it. Like, just ask me questions and I'll verbally answer them, or like take my ID and do it for me. Like, what? Why am I filling this out?
Yeah.
When I got a business loan at the local bank here, I had to write my full name, the full name and address of my company, which, by the way, where we live, the kanji for the prefix in the city is not easy. And I had to write that on 55 pages.
Yeah.
And I was just like, can I have my Japanese assistant do this for me and I'll just sign at the end? They're like, no, you have to write it all. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Because you are the CEO.
Yeah, but like I couldn't see Steve Jobs doing this, right?
No.
Steve Jobs would be like, just like, here, I signed, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, I mean, a lot of that's like just ridiculous because when you fill something out on paper, somebody else has got to take that paper
Input
and
it
then
into a
input
computer.
it into a computer.
I just put it in myself with the computer. Can I do that? I love to type.
It's just doubling the workload. Yeah. And there's also a lot with, foreign people registering things like bank accounts. There aren't enough boxes to put your name in.
We talked about this before.
You know what I mean? Or it's got to be zenkaku, so the full-size lettering, so you can't fit it in when you try and create an account for something,
Dude, even some of the, like, for example, Amazon. I recently sent a friend in Tokyo a gift. And so I put their address into Amazon as an address, because the address is in Japan, especially if the name of your building is some crazy, stupid Western name that's been translated into a super long phrase of katakana. Like, I put his address in there and I just I went to hit send and they're like, this is an invalid address.
Right.
It's like, your address cannot be this long. I'm like, what do I do? So
You don't have to write a name. You just put the address and the room number.
That's what I did. But it's nice to have the full address on there. It's just funny.
Yeah.
Now let's get to like the reason why we've been talking about this, because there is a news article out by Japan Times or Japan Today, sorry, but it's out there by a lot of different outlets at this point. That the Shinkansen here in Japan is finally going to be removing the green payphones from inside the train. Guys at home, comment below. When was the last time you actually put coins into a payphone to use it to talk to somebody before? I mean, like, in fact, some of you millennials out there, have you ever used a payphone to call someone before?
Yeah. I can't remember. It must have been, at university maybe.
Yeah, I see some old people using payphone in blood train. And then once my dad's the green payphone in the blood train saved my dad.
When was this?
I mean, like 2 years ago, we went to Fukuoka with the family, but he, went to toilet last minute. He got
He went to the toilet, yeah.
And then so he missed the train that we supposed to in. Do you understand what I mean?
Wait. He didn't ride the train.
He didn't ride the train.
Okay.
So I hold his bag, but he was at the station.
Okay.
So he came after us. But he didn't have, cell phone with him. So he got a blood train after. And
okay, I can understand that in some use cases when your father missed a train, he takes the second train and you have his phone and he calls his phone. I can understand this. Even then, all you need to do, hey, train conductor guy, can I borrow your cell phone for a second?
Yeah.
Right. Like, because this is such a rare situation.
Right.
That I don't know. I don't think I've ever used I don't even know what my own phone number is. I'll be honest with you guys.
No, I don't.
That's true.
I don't know what my phone number is. I don't know what your guys' phone numbers are. So if I didn't have my phone with me.
Well, it's like, it's just weird how you've built this super high-speed rail network, which is, known all over the world
the
for its
Shinkansen
efficiency.
Yeah.
I mean, it's super efficient.
And
it comes on time.
When you ride on it, it's like riding on air. It's amazing.
I mean, the engineering's phenomenal.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you've got some dumb payphone machine from like the 80s.
Green plastic
It's
thing.
like, what? You know what I mean? It's like...
It is. It's like the juxtaposition, the gap between the two, right? And so, okay, let's talk about something else. So, the toilets here, worldwide, famous around the world. Toilets are like these amazingly high-tech marvels that like clean your butt for you. they get warm. Some of them have massage function. Some of them have self-cleaning function. Some of them have, what is it? Ohime, otohime?
Otohime.
Otohime. It's like they plays music in the background while you're pooping and peeing so nobody can hear you. Amazing. Or it's a hole in the ground that leads to hell. Who knows? I mean, it's like, and it smells terrible and you have to squat to poo. It's like...
Yeah. Otohime, the noise. They've got it in male toilets as well now at the airport
really?
for some reason. Yeah. So whenever that comes on, I always think, oh God, somebody else around me is going to think I'm like embarrassed about going to the toilet, so I'll make even more noise. I'm going like this, to counter the noise that's being made by the artificial toilet sound. Because, like, you know what I mean? I'm not that, worried about.
You're weird.
Yeah.
You have to out-manly the princess sound.
Yeah.
Oh my
Because
god.
Otohime is incredibly loud as well. The water noise that it makes.
It
or
has
whatever.
several versions of it, right? Like one's like running water, one's like rain,
Yeah.
one's like an actual song. I mean, they have various noises.
I hear birds singing. Like,
One's
beep, beep,
birds.
beep, beep.
Yeah, one's birds.
So I'm there going, yeah. It's great. Yeah. Love it. But the toilets, man, it's just like, they're popular in England now. So people buy them and get them installed in the house.
The Toto toilets.
Yeah. So I mean, that's interesting, but it's like innovation in a weird place. Right?
By the way, Otohime is only for public, toilet, right?
No.
Do we have inside the house?
I used to live in a mansion an apartment that had it in the
Really?
in the toilet.
Really?
Yeah, it was just a feature of the toilet.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's just like, I don't know, girls are afraid to have people hear them pooping or something. I mean, it's a clever idea. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's a clever idea. So we have this like gap in innovation for so many different things. We've talked about this on the show before. Like companies will refuse to use PDF and email, but they're like, "Oh, just fax it to me, sweetie." And you're like,
Yeah.
"How? Well, like, where do I get a fax machine from?"
So once I had to change the name servers, like DNS for a company website.
It's a complicated thing, but yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I had to change the name of the website, basically. So the internet company who were dealing with it said, oh, yeah, we can do that for you. I phoned them up because I couldn't find the information on the website. And there was no management console. And they were like, yeah, can you fax us this form? And I was like, what? Seriously? You want me to fax an internet company to change something on the internet, which 20 years ago I could have done on my own computer at home in England? Do you know what I mean? It's just that level of, like, inability to change or unwillingness to change. I don't get it.
And a lot of it is just like ass covering. For example, like the paper thing. They want the paper form so they can hold it up later and be like, oh, but you wrote on this form.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't trust it's something that's just digital. They're like, oh, that didn't happen because it was just digital. They don't have the paper backup. Anyway, there's other things here like the vending machines in Japan, worldwide famous for being amazing. But here's the problem with the vending machines in Japan is like you walk up to them. Some of them will greet you with an anime voice and sing you a little song or whatever. They have like a television on them and dancing lights and everything. Then you can only pay by cash.
Yeah, if you live in Tokyo, it doesn't happen.
Now you can use Suica and you can use some like payment options, but that's only the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm, right.
Mm-hmm. Coke have got an app now where you can buy with Bluetooth. That's quite cool.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, they're starting to innovate, but like we started seeing this stuff like 5-10 years ago in North America at least, and then the rollout of it here has just been painfully slow. There are still McDonald's that you can go to in Japan that will not accept any form of electronic payment.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
No.
They're like, we're only cash. You're like, what? Seriously? Yeah. It's I have never paid with cash at McDonald's since I was like, I don't know, like 16 or something like that.
Yeah.
Not once.
Wow.
So 20 years ago, all the vending machine in America, I don't know all. The vending machine I saw in America was only accept the coins and bill. It changed
You
now.
were in America when I was 16 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, things changed.
Yeah.
Actually, there's not even vending machines anymore. They got rid of the vending
no
machines.
vending machines
Yeah.
anymore.
I mean,
Not in school.
It doesn't make sense to have they might have them in school, but it doesn't really make sense to do vending machines in America because Japan, you have a lot of people in a small area that go in front of these vending machines. So it makes economical sense. But in America, everybody drives. Most people drive. So you have those kind of products and stuff like that at a gas station.
Oh, I see.
So it's a different situation.
Oh, okay,
There are a lot of vending machines in the middle of nowhere in Japan, though, as well.
Which is great because they light up the countryside.
Yeah. And you're like, why is that here?
It's to attract all the bugs at night.
Who uses it?
The bugs, they hang out there.
Who fills it up?
The Coca-Cola guy.
Yeah, the Coke guy.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, like, getting back to the software thing, like, a lot of I have a school, right? And I have a lot of little kids, and we teach them how to do some things on the computer as a form of communication, but they just don't know how a computer works. It's like and there's no like child prodigies that are like coders in Japan, really.
I think there's like a linguistic barrier as well, though, right?
Coding is mostly in English.
It's mostly in English, and Japanese is not a good language to input by a keyboard.
No.
It's terrible. You've got to do like henkan button, and you've got like 20 kanji listed up. You've got to go through.
But you know, if you get on like Nico Nico Doga, you know, those guys, they're so fast at typing. But those guys are like Nico Nico Otaku, right? So yeah, it just depends on the people. But the thing is, you were talking about this before, Alex, because you built your own PC a couple months back that pissed your wife off.
Yeah.
But
sorry.
but you got into the right timing. It was before the global chip shortage.
Told you.
So good on you. But yeah, you were talking about that. There's a culture of PC builders here.
Yeah. There's some,
and they're fanatical about it.
Yeah.
But it's a small segment of the population.
Yeah, I mean, there's this small group of like super otaku who are really good at what they do, you know, but they just don't take it into the business sphere so much. It's always hobbyfied.
Yeah.
You know, it's a hobby, and those people really need to do that at a company, you know, and also be given the freedom to try things out.
Yeah.
So the kind of corporate system in Japan is stopping innovation, which is, you know, a bit sad. And I think now you're getting more startups and things like that. Fukuoka's like a big startup hub. Tokyo as well.
Because the federal government is trying to make little Silicon Valleys throughout the country. And so that's good. It's good. Maybe things will change, but
the user needs to be there as well, right? So Japan's problem is, like, for example, when they're thinking about marketing, they're talking about like doing okyakusan chosa, so they ask people what they want, right? And then they get lots of data, and then they make something that people will want.
like an average of everything, like an average of everything.
But it doesn't work like that. I mean, Steve Jobs was saying when he was developing the iPhone, if you did like interviews about what people wanted, they wouldn't say this, you know. So you've got to come up with a concept. And then maybe afterwards, when you're tweaking it, you can do those kind of market research
come with the concept,
activities.
Test it.
Yeah.
I think what a lot of Japanese companies want to do is it goes back to like the samurai sword making culture, where it's like they want to perfect the thing before they release it to the public, which is the worst way to innovate. What you want to do is you want to come up with the MVP, the minimum viable product of something, the smallest product that you can put, the least amount of effort that you can put in to make like the proof of concept, and then immediately user test it.
Yeah.
And you get feedback, innovate, going back and forth. If you look at the iPhone today versus the iPhone that came out in 2000, what was it, 12 or something like that, whenever it first came out, it's a complete. It looks similar, but it's a different beast.
Yeah.
You know, I think the original iPhone didn't even have an app store associated with it because they were thinking, oh, we'll just do all web apps. But then they were like, well, here's $1 billion idea. Let's make an app store. That came out after, you know. That kind of stuff just doesn't really happen in Japan so much.
Yeah. I mean, it's changing, and it's changing in a good way, but it takes time. So, I mean, the company I work at, we got in like iPads and went totally paperless 3 years ago. So that was a huge hurdle for me to get across.
You pushed that through.
150 people.
Yeah.
It's very rare around here.
Yeah. And all meetings are paperless now. Everything's done on the iPad. We also got Dropbox put in there, so all the files are on the cloud.
Having to train my Japanese staff on how to use a computer and everything is just like, you got to pull your hair out. They're like, what is the cloud? I'm like, you're in your 20s. You should know what a cloud is. You know. And then like another thing that was a struggle for me with my business was I tried to push through cashless payment systems from the very beginning, like, 11 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a mountain that took a long time to climb. And then I had a staff, actually, a Japanese staff, who's no longer with us, but we were talking about, all right, what's the best scenario for the customers, blah, blah, blah. And she said, the best thing that you can do for your customers is make the whole thing cash. And I looked at her, I'm like, you're insane. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, why would we do that? Just bring in cash in envelopes every month for payments?
Yeah.
Could you imagine if like Dropbox or like, any other, like Netflix was like, please bring your envelope of money to this location every month?
Well, I just set up like Stripe with, subscription-based payment with everything.
Yeah.
And it's just super easy. It takes 2 minutes to do. You don't have to think about it.
Everything's going subscription-based anyways.
Yeah.
Right?
But,
I mean, looking at streaming services, for example, a lot of Japanese people still watch broadcast TV. It's a huge market compared to other countries, and like they get, Netflix is making inroads, Amazon Prime is making inroads. So you're seeing these companies who are doing their streaming services, but the reason why they're not taking off as much as they took off in the West is because people don't have internet at home.
Yeah,
you just recently got internet.
Excuse me, who are you?
You recently got internet.
No, I have my internet from the first day.
I mean real internet.
Right.
Not what is it called? I forgot what it's called. The cell phone tower SoftBank thing.
Yeah.
What's that called?
ASDL.
No. She had it's like basically a little Wi-Fi like portable Wi-Fi spot, but it's not portable.
SoftBank nets.
I don't know.
It's like a square thing. And then you don't have to contract anything.
Oh, right.
Just
okay.
putting.
It'll come to me later, but it's a technology that was innovated by an American startup. I don't know, like 15 years ago. It stands for like wide. It's not wide area network or like wide something like that. I forgot what it's called, but anyway, it's like
because that was easy.
Yeah. So a lot of Japanese people have that, but basically all it is a little cell. It's a box, but inside there's a little cell phone SIM card that just basically relays the 4G to your Wi-Fi network.
Oh, so it's LTE, right?
So it's LTE. So it's like, and it's data caps. It throttles. It's everything that ever happens to your cell phone that you hate.
Yeah.
And so if you're trying to like stream 4K Netflix on that, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You need a fiber optic, connection. What we can get really easily here in Japan, it's only 3,000 yen a month.
Yeah.
But a lot of people opt out of, getting fiber. And then people who live in like more metropolitan areas like Tokyo and stuff like that, they have like building internet, which is shared amongst everybody. So at peak hours, it gets crap.
Yeah.
But they figure like we already have it, so we don't want to pay for it. So it's hard to stream on that.
But the fiber backbone's very, very fast, right?
Yeah. Everything, especially inside the country, is amazingly fast, lightning fast. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's weird, man. But
Why did you get rid of your SoftBank internet?
Because, like you said, like main time, I got my internet streaming service get lower.
Yeah.
And I got irritated with it.
Yeah, but like the fibers, it's so cheap, right?
Yeah.
It's like 3,000 yen or something like that. You get your own dedicated fiber line, comes in from outside.
It's actually not 3,000 yen. I pay more.
Maybe because you live in a house.
Oh, is that
Yeah. I think if you have like mansion, like fiber type, it's like it starts at 3,000 yen, and it's really fast.
Okay, yeah, maybe.
And that's the thing is like the speeds compared to North America, the to your home speeds in Japan are incredibly faster than America.
Yeah.
How's England?
I think Japan's faster.
Yeah.
So we've got quite a good fiber system in the UK, but it's nowhere near as advanced as over here. I mean, South Korea and Japan were like the main, hubs for really fast internet.
Which is crazy. Well, it makes sense because they're small and they have all their customers in a small little area, so it's really easy to implement like cell phone coverage and like internet coverage. But
But it's just crazy how some things are so good and some things suck so bad.
Yeah.
That's what's annoying about it. If it was all crap, it'd be easy to just let it go.
Yeah.
But it's just like, why are you still using faxes when you've got super fast internet?
Yeah.
And everything can just be done online with cashless payment.
I hate to say anything good about the current situation that we're in, but because of the current situation, a lot of things and services have been pushed online, which has actually been good for Japan. It's forced innovation in a lot of ways. So many things have gone online now, which I love.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, the company I working for change fax to internet fax from the next month.
What's the difference?
Fax machine. I mean, some of our customers still want to use fax, right?
Yeah.
But if they send fax, we have to be there, right? Internet fax, we can get through the internet.
Oh, so it comes as a PDF.
Right?
Yeah, so it's a PDF to. That's better.
But that's a typical kind of stopgap measure that is a solution in Japan, right? So instead of just saying, let's use email from now on, which would be easiest, they come up with some dumb invention like that.
Well, a lot of it, too, is like respect of the elderly. So, like, they like, okay, so here's an example. I made a reservation for a restaurant in an app called a Hot Pepper. And I made it like half an hour before I showed up to this restaurant. And I made the reservation, and I walk in with my friend, and we go, hi, I have a reservation. It's Mitch. And they go, you don't have a reservation. And my friend jokingly said, did they check the fax machine? Maybe it's coming. And then right as he says that, their freaking fax machine starts going.
Really?
And our reservation as a piece of paper starts coming out of this fax machine.
No.
I'm not even kidding.
How long years ago?
Like 6 months ago. And the dude takes the paper out of the fax machine and goes, oh, okay, right this way, and sits down. So even though, like you were saying, Alex, our side was really high tech in this app that's really actually a good app. Hot Pepper's app is really, really good. Owned by the same company as your parent company, so let's say good things. But like the app is really good. But the end to end is like on this side with the shop that we were working with, they don't understand the internet or like email or anything. So they're like, please send us a fax. So they had to process all of that and then send them a fax.
To get people to use technology, though, you've got to have change. So you've got to, like in Japan, they don't want to, like, meiwa kakitaku nai desu yo.
Yeah.
So they don't want to like cause inconvenience for anybody. But at the end of the day, a minor amount of inconvenience can lead to a massive gain, right? So, I mean, smartphones, for example, nobody knew how to use it to start with, but it's fairly intuitive. You just start doing it, work it out.
I mean, we'll do a whole different show about garakei at some other time. But like what happened is Galapagos Keitai, which is a cell phone, So they developed their own cell phones in Japan that just kind of went off on this tangent that didn't match up with anything else in the whole world, and they got super weird. We'll talk about that on another show. But yeah, I mean, stuff like that does happen here. Anyway, guys, we need to shut down this show, but let's answer the question that we started with. Is Japan a high-tech Mecca?
Used to be.
Used to be. Used to be is one answer. I'll say it could be again because SoftBank own, ARM.
Yeah, ARM processing. Yeah.
Production company. They also own Boston Dynamics,
which is the creepy robots.
So they make robots too.
That dance to music on YouTube
So Japan could come back anytime. But it's just, how creative can you get?
The robotic sector in Japan is actually top of the world. And so they, going into like the space race going forward, robotics will be really important. So I could see Japan, because of their location, because we can launch rockets from Japan, unlike other countries. I think that Japan has an advantage going forward with space. Listen to me, Japan. You have an advantage when it comes to space. Don't let the rest of the world win.
Yeah.
Do your best.
Tanegashima, Kagoshima as well. Two rocket launch areas.
Yeah.
So.
In a safe country with lots of engineers. Come on, guys. We believe in you. All right. I guess that I would answer the question like I believe same thing that you guys said. Yes, it used to be, and it could be again. So do your best, Japan. All right, that's been our show today, guys. If you guys have a comment for us, leave us a comment below. If you like this topic, just hit that like button and please subscribe.
Subscribe.
We really do this. Like, I mean, every week we review like our likes and comments and our subscriptions. So please subscribe if you haven't. Like us and share us with a friend. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Hey guys, Josh here. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Small Talk Japan. Small Talk Japan is filmed and recorded in Kagoshima at Story Studios. This week's episode stars Michi, Natsuki, and Alex, and is produced by me, Josh. The executive producer is Michi, and hair services done by Drops Temonkan. This podcast is brought to you in part by Stapleton A. Kaiwa. Leave us a comment below and let us know what you think. Thanks again for watching, and if you enjoyed the show, click here to subscribe and click here to watch more. See ya!